Long ago, in the city of Asaba, there lived a beautiful, vibrant girl named Isioma, a very talented baker. Her work stood out from her wedding cake to her cheesecake. It was the talk of the town. Everyone wanted to have a taste of her magic. She created beautiful designs that stood out. Isioma's parents are strong Christians and they hold strong places in the church. Isioma is in the prayer team in her church. She is a strong believer and never wants to associate herself with a non-believer. She also told herself that she wants to get married to a Christian man, a man who strongly believes in God. She doesn't want to get married to a regular man who doesn't attend church. She made up her mind to get married to a full-time Christian. Ebuka, a handsome man, the son of Chief Akweji, is an engineer. His father owns a construction company and Ebuka works for his father. His parents always pushed him to go to church. They made him pick them up every Sunday so as to make sure he went to church with them. Ebuka held the post of a lay reader in church, carrying his duty diligently because of his parents. Ebuka is so charming. Most single girls in the church had eyes on him, but Ebuka wasn't attracted to any of them. Ebuka was looking for a calm, gentle, tolerative, smart woman. Someone who won't worry his life, he always told his parents. One day, Ebuka met Isioma after the close of the church. They were holding a workers' meeting. Ebuka observed her closely, how she carried herself, how she spoke, and how she dressed. He thought to himself, she's my spec. After the end of the meeting, Ebuka went home to his parents' house to eat lunch as usual, as his mother always kept lunch for him and also packaged in cooler what he was going to eat that evening. When Ebuka got to his parents' house, while he was eating lunch, he asked his parents more about Isioma, and his mother was so happy to brief him about who Isioma is. She asked him, are you interested in her? Why are you concerned about her all of a sudden? Ebuka said, yes. Mama, I think I have found the one. His mom was so excited and briefed him about Isioma, about her nature, her type of job, who her parents were, and everything. Ebuka was so excited as he now knew that Isioma lived a very calm and polite life. One Sunday, after service, Ebuka approached Isioma and wanted to introduce himself. But before he could say his name, she called his name. Good afternoon, brother Ebuka Akweji. Ebuka was shocked and asked how she knew him. Isioma told him, from church? You're a worker, so I should know you obviously. Ebuka asked Isioma if they could have lunch, to which Isioma accepted, and Ebuka took her to a fancy restaurant. While eating, they communicated, getting to know one another. Isioma told Ebuka all about herself, and Ebuka loved her that instant. The way she appreciated cooking, baking, Ebuka just fantasized while she spoke. Ebuka, who also told Isioma about his nature of job, he's a civil engineer still working for his father's company as he was the oldest son and child of his father. After a few months, Ebuka asked Isioma if she could marry him, popping the question in front of his parents and her parents. Isioma accepted to get married to Ebuka. The wedding plan was beautiful. Everyone wanted to contribute from both families. The wedding plan went on smooth. Isioma was the one that baked her wedding cake. She baked beautiful wedding cakes during her wedding. The cake stood out. Everyone had something to say about how magnificent the cake was. Isioma, who is a dedicated wife, she wakes up early to make breakfast as well as lunch pack for her husband. And she's a very strong prayer warrior who took her morning devotion and night devotion seriously. After marriage, Ebuka had to also key into waking up as early as 4 a.m. to say his morning devotion and never going to bed without saying his night prayers. After marriage, Ebuka's mother noticed that Ebuka was always coming to work with a lunch pack filled with healthy food and well extracted fruit juice. She was so excited as she has always been the one who brought lunch for Ebuka and his father, and now someone is taking care of her son. She was glad and sad at the same time as she won't get beautiful comments from her son anymore. Ebuka, who returns home after the close of work every day, Isioma was so excited. But she noticed that Ebuka returns late during the weekend. She thought to herself when it initially started, oh, he works in a construction company. Probably they are busy. But that wasn't the case, as Ebuka always partied during weekend, drinking and dancing from one bar and clubhouse. Behaving like a single man, Ebuka enjoyed the strippers club the most, clubbing like no other. He enjoyed watching girls strip and lap dance for him. Even his friends always told him, Oga, you don't marry, oh, you no go house. Ebuka told him, my dear, this life I can't keep myself. Now where I get the time, make I enjoy am. Isioma soon got disturbed, as coming back home late during weekend became a constant for Ebuka. And whenever he returns, he was reeking of alcohol. Isioma wasn't comfortable with it and had to confront him. Ebuka told her, my dear wife, I have blood flowing through my veins, and even Jesus turned water into wine, so why have issues with that? Isioma told him, you're a worker of God and should live an exemplary lifestyle. Ebuka laughed and told her, I see, you are Jesus' PA, Okwaya. Who made you the judge? And who told you I'm living a bad way? All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, you know. I work every day. There is no way I won't be happy to party on Fridays and Saturday. Isioma looked at him and told him, you are partying the wrong way. You come back very, very late, 3 a.m. at times. Instead, you can pray and have a night vigil with me. Please, my dear husband, I am advising you to stop so as not to walk into your own very destruction. But Ebuka did not listen. Isioma kept on with her wifely duties and business. She prayed effortlessly and fervently for her husband, praying for God's protection on him, praying that God should guide him, praying that God should direct his step, as she didn't want Ebuka to bring her shame in any way. One day, a stripper, while dancing and stripping for Ebuka, took Ebuka's complimentary card, but Ebuka did not notice. And after the work of the day, she did her finding and made up her mind to get Ebuka all to herself. The next Friday, when Ebuka arrived and asked for that same stripper being Rosie, she used the opportunity to carry a drug to slip into his drink while she was stripping and lap dancing for him. She found a way and placed the drug into his drink while Ebuka was there enjoying the dance. When she was done, she hid somewhere, observing if Ebuka was going to take the drink, so that when he takes the drink and becomes tipsy, she would come out and quickly offer to help him. But the moment she stood up and hid at her corner, his phone rang. It was his wife who was calling. Ebuka stood up to answer his phone. After picking his call, he went straight home. He did not return. Rosie was so angry that her plan had failed. Rosie kept on trying her best to get Ebuka, but each time it felt like it was going to work, Ebuka would leave all of a sudden. Rosie went as far as paying the bar attendant so as to slip in drugs into Ebuka's drink. But either Ebuka comes to the club that day refusing to eat or drink anything, just having fun with his friends, telling them he can't drive home drunk before something happens to him. One day, Ebuka and Isioma got into a fight. Ebuka left the house. When he got to the bar, he ordered a drink as well as ordering for Rosie to come and strip for him. And it was time for Rosie to strike. The moment Rosie started stripping for him, she signaled the bar attendant to put the drug into his drink. While she was stripping and dancing, Ebuka took the drink, enjoying himself and nodding. Soon, Ebuka blacked out. Then she took the advantage and closed work for that day and took Ebuka to her place. The next morning, she woke Ebuka up to pay her for her services. Ebuka couldn't remember a thing. He just paid her and left. He went back home that day feeling bad, as he promised himself that he wasn't going to ever cheat on Isioma. When he got home, he went straight to bed, not saying a word to Isioma. He felt really bad that he could not keep to his words, knowing that Isioma was a good and dedicated woman. But after that day, he reduced the way he frequented that particular bar. He told himself he didn't want to get involved in any way with Rosie or any other stripper, that it was better to hang out in a regular bar, drink, enjoy the dance, and go back home. Few months down the line, he got a call from a stranger saying she was pregnant for him. He immediately knew it would be Rosie, as he hasn't slept with anyone apart from his wife Isioma. He asked that they met in a cafeteria. When Rosie got to the cafeteria, they sat down and started talking. Ebuka told her he won't want her to abort the child, as he did not like the idea of killing an innocent baby. So Rosie accepted and gave him her conditions. The conditions were too much. Ebuka flared up. Even if I was drunk that night, why didn't you use a condom? He asked Rosie. Why didn't you use a condom? That means you also wanted it, Ebuka told her. You are not a serious person. Something you wanted. Even if you take this to the court, I was drunk. You took me to your place. I did not take you to my place. You took me to your place. So you wanted it. So why come here and tell me you're pregnant and I should pay you this huge amount of money? I am not paying you anything. Rosie told him, you have to pay me that amount of money because when I am pregnant, I cannot carry out my day-to-day activities. Who is going to pay the bills? So you have to pay the bills one way or the other. But Ebuka refused. He stood up and left. He couldn't accept Rosie's offer in any way. While he was at work, he told himself, I am not going to accept that lady's offer. She wanted it. I'm just going to talk to Isioma about it. I know she's going to be heartbroken, but I have to explain to her that it was a mistake. I did not even know what happened. I just woke up and saw myself in someone's bed. I really hope my wife understands me, he thought to himself. So he decided that when he got home that day, he was going to let the cat out of the bag by telling Isioma all about Rosie. That evening, when he got home, Isioma welcomed him with a beautiful dining setting. She was so excited. She had a beautiful plate, well covered. The moment Ebuka sat on the dining, she opened the plate and he saw baby shoe in it. He looked at Isioma. Isioma was so happy and she told him, "Guess what?" Ebuka said, "Are you pregnant?" Isioma said, "Yes, we are expecting a baby." Ebuka had a mixture of excitement and regret. He was so excited to be having a baby with his beautiful wife, but the thought of Rosie kept on reoccurring in his head. He couldn't bring himself to tell Isioma about Rosie that night. After they had their beautiful dinner, with Ebuka cuddling Isioma all through the night, they slept. The next morning, during breakfast, he knew if he doesn't talk to Isioma about it, he was either going to send Rosie the money Rosie wanted or accept the blackmail that was going to come. So he decided to open up to Isioma, knowing fully well it was going to break her heart, but there was nothing he could do, as if he doesn't, the blackmail was going to soon start. So he told Isioma about everything, about how that night they had issue. He went to a club and he woke up in a woman's hand, and the woman is blackmailing him now, stating that she was pregnant. Isioma then told him, "What do you want me to do? I'm pregnant. I don't want to get involved in that your drama." Ebuka told her, "I'm deeply sorry. The issue here is that she's demanding for a huge sum of money. And I know I did not force myself on her, neither did I drag her to a hotel room. She wanted it, and that's why she took me to her house. Who takes a drunk man to his or her home? So please, I really want you to understand me. I've never slept with anyone since I got married to you. It's a promise. I'm the victim here. She's not. She took me to her home. I don't want to pay her that amount of money, as I feel she also wanted it. I was drunk and she had her way. So I am the victim here, but because I am wealthy, she's trying to threaten me." Someone looked at him and told him, "When I warned you, you refused listening, and now you're looking for who to push blames at. If you hadn't gone there, you wouldn't be fathering another person's child." So she told Ebuka, "No problem, I would like to meet with Rosie." Ebuka was shocked and scared at the same time. "You want to meet with her?" Isioma said, "Yes, I would like to meet with Rosie." So Ebuka called Rosie and told her to meet them in a cafeteria. They met with Rosie in a cafeteria. Rosie was given a document to sign. When she saw the document, she looked at them and asked, "What's this document for?" Isioma told her, "Money doesn't fly on the air, you know. You have to sign the document if you want us to pay you your stated amount, as everything paid to you will be documented." She then signed it and the stated amount was transferred for the first month. Isioma also allocated a clinic for Rosie. Rosie was so excited. She felt that Isioma was the better one who understood and cared about her, not knowing that Isioma had a plan. Isioma instructed the doctor in the clinic to carry out a paternity test the moment the baby was born. A house was also given to Rosie, as Isioma warned her that nothing should happen to the baby and she was not permitted in any way to go back to work. Rosie was living her dream life, living in a beautiful self-con developed apartment, having people check up on her at her beck and call. That was all Rosie ever dreamed of. Having to be rich and not dancing for anyone. After 9 months, she gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. But the shocking thing there was that she gave birth 1 month earlier than Isioma. That was when the doubt became concentrated. As Isioma told herself, if you had met my husband, you would have given birth few months after me. So how come you gave birth before me? But she didn't question Rosie. She just told herself probably she just gave birth early. Rosie, who had agreed with a particular nurse to help her sneak out of the hospital with her baby, as she had gathered enough money from Ebuka and Isioma. Little did she know that Isioma was smarter than her. Isioma kept policemen on standby, so there was no way for Rosie to sneak out of the hospital. When the paternity test came out, the baby wasn't for Ibuka. Isioma entered Rosie's room holding the paternity test in her hands. Then she asked Rosie, "Is the baby for my husband?" Rosie looked at her and said, "No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just needed someone to help me." Then Rosie started confessing all she did. But it was too late as Rosie didn't read the documents properly before signing it. The last paragraph of the document stated that if the baby wasn't for Ebuka, she was to pay a fine of 10 million naira, returning all the money and the amenities that was given to her, and still go to jail. Isioma wanted to forgive her because of the new baby, as she did not want to separate the baby from his mother. She told the policemen not to put her in jail, but she gave Rosie 1 week to return all the money that was given to her and that was used to take care of her when she was pregnant. Ebuka and Isioma welcomed a set of twin boys. Isioma was so excited. Although she had forgiven him and moved past the Rosie incident, but she wasn't happy in any way that she had to get involved with that shit as early as 2 years into her marriage. Ebuka was always at her mercy, pleading always that he was a changed person because of that mistake he had with Rosie. Ebuka started trading with caution, knowing fully well that his wife wasn't someone to mess around with. Yes, she was a Christian, but she wouldn't take shit from anyone. Ebuka stopped clubbing, drinking, womanizing, or misbehaving in any way, as he wanted to be a better father and example to his twin boys. Thank you very much for listening to the story of the day. It's your favorite storyteller, Zika. What did you learn from the story of the day? I would like you to share your thoughts in the comment section. Also, I would just want to chip in one or two into this. It's painful that a lot of people tend to feel like the Christian boys are the best, as some Christians also pretend to be good, but they are horror at home. We should always pray for God's guidance, pray for God's protection. We should always allow God to be the lead of our life. Also, when it comes to Ebuka, Ebuka was lucky to have a wife like Isioma. If not, he would have fallen into Rosie's trap long ago. People should learn to listen when their partner talks to them. If you enjoy the story of the day, please do not forget to like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell to get more interesting stories like this. Please and please share to your friends and loved ones till we meet again in our next. Bye for now.